Oh! The digital sea seems to have cleared up. Final. Son of a. Time for a smaller video. Well, smaller compared to. Damn, that was a lot of talking. That will continue another time. Today, we're going to be talking about Gravity Circuit. This game surprised me out of nowhere and has been a favorite of mine to revisit time and time again. It was such a shock to the system that I was genuinely not prepared to be hit with a wave of nostalgia and a wave of intrigue all at once. But before I gush, let's get into the development history of Gravity Circuit first. This was actually a tough one to come across. For now, let's start with the developer, one by the name of Dominic Nemark, who I know for making some absolutely killer Eurobeat remixes of a lot of video game music I love. He's also known for his work on Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, Blazing Chrome, and Rivals Megagun to name a few games. While I've never played these games, I can definitely say he cooked up with these OSTs given how well the music is in Gravity Circuit. But from there, we could talk about the team he formed known as Domesticated Ant Games. While Gravity Circuit is the only game under their belt currently, I would love to see more from them. I mean, to quote the Steam community page post, Gravity Circuit's development is a global effort with a diverse team spanning multiple countries, from the creative talents of Dominic Nemark, the composer and character designer, to the artists who contributed to the captivating in-game visuals. The collaboration has brought together a range of skills and perspectives, while the core group responsible for the game consists of a dedicated few, including myself, Dominic, and a small team of artists. Additional members such as porting staff, playtesters, and promotional artists have also played crucial roles into bringing Gravity Circuit to life. And that's something I can feel throughout every single aspect of this game. This is a labor of love from people who have respect for the craft of not just platformers, but video games as a medium. But, as you know, I can't get into all that immediately without talking about that story first. So, let's get into it. The story of Gravity Circuit is a simple one, but still has a lot of charm and woe to it. The game opens on set dressing, of course, as all stories do. Gravity Circuit takes place in a nondescript world where robots live. The robots went digging, eventually discovering a giant machine known as the Ark. The bots that discovered it had no idea where it came from or what it was for. No matter what species, individuals always touching shit they ain't got no business touching. Swear, man. Thought they'd learn by now. Moving on from there, discovered that the Ark was housing a dangerous group known as the Virus Army, which then started the Maverick. My bad. Hold on, let me check this picture. Yes, there it is. The Virus Wars that were then fought with the Guardian Corps, headed by a group of 9 bots known as the Circuits. We'll get into them later. Yet, the war went on so long that it only came down to one of those Guardians remaining. Years then pass, and the Virus Army returns. With that, this also signals the return of the hero himself, Kai, the Gravity Circuit. One intro stage and an introduction to a mysterious cloaked figure later, we come across Cable, the Power Circuit. Kai seems to recognize Cable before it is made very clear that Kai has amnesia. Oh, you poor red robot. You got that shit too, don't you? Don't worry, I have a friend who also has it. We deal with the first boss that is definitely the first boss. Indeed it is. And then we enter the Guardian Corps HQ, where we are properly introduced to Colonel, the man that was interrogated by Cable. Don't make the joke, 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 don't make the joke. Do it.
I'm disappointed in you, Colonel.
Kai ponders as to why Cable was attacking the Guardian HQ. Colonel is unsure as to why either. He assumed during the first Virus Corps conflict that all the other circuits were offline, i.e. dead as fuck, after recovering Kai's body from the first conflict. After exploring HQ, we reconvene with Colonel and are then told by the mysterious bot his name. He is Nega, and he explains that the rebel circuits plan to take over the city or destroy it completely. Well fuck, that's extreme. It's then left up to Kai to take down the rebel circuits, claim the circuits, and stop the Virus Army. We're tossed on the stage select featuring our bosses for the game. As you continue to collect the different circuits throughout the game, we will get introduced to Pat. A huge fan of Kai, and we also see something strange happening to Colonel until collecting the last circuit, where Colonel goes completely berserk. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Pat should have taken Colonel out of his leading duties and taken care of the base himself, but no. Pat was too busy keeping record of our challenges. Whatever, buddy. At least you tried, I think. I'm not entirely sure anymore. Anyways, with him going berserk and causing a lot of destruction at Guardian HQ, Kai is told that Colonel made a break for the Ark, and Kai departs following after him, making his way through the Ark. Kai then comes across Nega, who begins to speak cryptically before revealing that both Kai and Nega share the same body, because he is indeed the original Gravity Circuit. Nega reveals that his body had broken down without sending the copy command to the circuit, thus leaving it without his memories, to then adopt the body of a random bot, and Kai just happened to be nearby. Nega then plays the pronoun game by saying his signal had awoken both he and Kai. Kai is rightfully confused before being told that he is the one who was sending the virus army after everybody. Nega then decides to put Kai to the test before sending him off to find and beat the final boss. After conquering Nega, he approves of Kai going on ahead as his own Gravity Serpent. With a quick run through of the stage after, fighting a broken down bot who really put up a good fight. Goddamn, Nega, hats off to you. Kai comes across Colonel for a moment before being tossed into one of the most unique boss rushes I've ever been through in a game like this. But this then opens the path forward after conquering said boss rush, with a descent into the innermost parts of the Ark. We find Colonel and finally meet the main antagonist, Commander Circuit. He reveals that the circuits would travel the cosmos claiming planets for their masters. The circuits came to like the bots on this planet and didn't want to claim it, but wanted to live amidst them. Angered by this, he sent out the virus army. Dude, that is just fucking awful. Just try to understand them instead of causing a massive conflict that harms millions of innocent bots. Jesus Christ, what the fuck, man? Anyways, he then sends a possessed Colonel to attack us, but that then fails and ends in the death of Colonel. With an insane, cool as fuck boss fight later, Commander Circuit is defeated, and it was revealed that he missed traveling the stars. He then apologizes to the masters he no longer is able to see before passing on. Nega follows in, revealing that they were tired of forming planets for their masters who they don't even know anymore, not knowing if they exist or are even alive. Nega says he'll take the place of the Commander Circuit lest the bots outside shut down forever. Kai asks if he should return the Gravity Circuit with Nega, before Nega promptly responds, telling him that he is the new wielder of the Gravity Circuit, before Kai departs. Kai returns to all the other bots from the Guardian HQ, overlooking the Ark, sinking back into the ground and going dormant once more, as he decides to tell them everything, ending our story. That was pretty damn good, all things considered. You wouldn't expect the game to get the way it does by the end. I love the ending moments of Commander Circuit. It's because the sorrow in him wanting to gaze at the stars once more. You can kind of feel something from that. Despite, sending an army to destroy innocents. That aside, let's get into this presentation. Oh my god, this game is so goddamn good looking and sounding. This game is a pixel art masterpiece. The characters are all brimming with personality, from the cool and stoic amnesiac Kai, to the big fan Pat, and of course the rest of the NPCs with their dialogue and changes in expression bit by bit. It just adds so much charm to them. Like the nurse, when you purchase something, she says thank you for your patronage, just like,
thanks for your patronage.
It's so damn cute. The bosses are also fucking cool too. Medley and her visual waves from her attacks and the way she spins, Ash and how he'll laugh at you for getting hit by some attacks. And of course, Shift in his literal fucking screen divide. Like, Mega Man Battle Network 5, Colonel screen divide. Fucking sick. That's literally just a fraction of things visually, because I gotta talk sound. This game's OST is like so fucking good. I swear, if I let this shit play out my speakers, I probably would have burned down my living quarters. Phenomenal. Just listen to some of these tracks. Pure ear candy. Hats off to Dominic for composing this OST and the sound design. So many things are so crunchy and good to hear. Chef's kiss, I swear, man. The stages and locations you've seen are also pixel beauty. The Cold Mountains of Blade stage, Medley stage and the non-stop party that's happening, or the Heat of Ray stage that, damn, almost makes like you feel like you're in that bitch with Kai, sweating up a storm if you were there, because you're probably human. It's also beautifully handled. Wish I could just turn off the UI and grab screen caps that way. But with these beautiful visuals comes phenomenal gameplay to go with it. Gravity Circuit is a fast-paced 2D platformer that takes after the Mega Man franchise. But inspiration does not dominate the idea as a whole. The combat is less shooty and slashy compared to its Blue Bomber brethren. It's more focused on comboing the absolute fuck out of enemies. You have a basic attack and a grappling hook as a traversal option and for attacking. Grappling hook not only lets you do a distance poke, but it also allows you to grab up and just toss the fuck out of enemies, man. It's just satisfying as fuck to use. But that's not all to your combat options. You have something else known as burst techniques. These are acquired within the first stage after meeting Nega for the first time before you actually know what his name is. But instead of eating HP like beat 'em ups of old would do, instead you have an actual super meter for it. It will grow over time as you collect upgrades throughout stages, allowing you to chain together multiple techniques. These techniques range from 2 to Final Blast! And of course, the almighty, the exalted Izuna drop. It's called Heavenly Pile Driver, but that shit is just the Izuna drop in my eyes. This game is the GOAT, man. Holy shit, like, you have the Izuna drop? And you can take my money again. You will unlock a laundry list of these techniques as you beat bosses by collecting currency from enemies you decide to beat absolute dogfuck out of. You know, normal shit you do in beat 'em ups. You can only have 4 of these techniques equipped at one time. They're mapped to directions similarly to Super Smash Bros. Moves. You know, neutral, left and right, up, and down. If you've played Smash, you'll understand that immediately, but if you haven't, don't worry. The game doesn't overwhelm you with techniques immediately, and you'll unlock them bit by bit, so you can then adjust and become more acquainted with them. They're not hyper complex, so don't worry about it. You'll get used to it, trust me. There are also augment chips that add passive abilities to you, such as double jumping or contact damage while dashing, or even the ability to invincibly slide through enemies to bypass them. The options are bountiful when it comes to how you feel about playing this game, and what you can do. Also, one last thing, you can acquire new color palettes that give you additional abilities. These are separate from your augment chips or your burst techniques. These abilities range from being able to add projectiles to your normal attacks, firing a beam that lets you hover for a bit, or letting you air dash by using your slide input. So many options at your disposal, but it just feels so good to use it all together in this beautiful 2D space. Well, with all that, I think we can wrap this up, right? I love this game so much. It can be quite challenging, but that can change to being in your favor over time. That becomes a fast and frantic, great time as you adjust and adapt to the game. It takes me back to when I had the Mega Man Zero games on GBA when I was younger. It's just a different vibe that we don't get too much of nowadays. That doesn't feel like it's trying to be hard for the sake of it. It's challenging, and then you learn and you adjust and you become better. I can definitely say this game is more than just a sum of its inspirations. It feels so unique that, as an experience, the only downside I have is that I don't have more stages to play as Kai on. Dominic and Domesticated Ant Games, thank you for creating an incredible and unforgettable experience. I'll be singing this game's praises for literally ever. And with all that being said, I've been Wandering Sosuke. I want y'all to be easy, take care, have yourselves a damn good one, and of course, as always, stay gold.